if we don't get as many people on here tonight, I'm not going to be staying on as long. But I wanted to give you guys access to ask questions or just hear me rant like I normally do. So let's see. Oh, not doing that stuff. So, until people get here, I will just talk about what I think you guys should pay attention to right now. And that is that the Pentagon put out a bunch of really weird guidelines for the press. And I've looked into trying to find the actual guidelines. Hello, Grant. Hello, Mark. I've looked into trying to find the actual guidelines to what they were trying to get the press to agree to. And I've only seen multiple news agencies report that they were going to have to get things that weren't even classified. That were not even. I don't know if I'm. Okay. Sorry, guys. The internet's still super funky. ABC Andy, Big Dog, Walter. But yeah, like the Pentagon put out new stuff. Like I think it was somewhere around 50 members of the press walked out. What's up, Rocco? And did not renew their credentials because they are asking, or they're not asking, they are telling. Oops, sorry. Wow. They are telling them that they cannot be journalists until it is filtered through the government. Like, I've been talking about the attack on the First Amendment for a while now. Like, been talking about it for a while. It, like, even before this stuff that was happening with Charlie Kirk, like, I was talking about it before then. You've got to pay attention to that, because the reason the Second Amendment is so important to us is to be able to protect the first. Like, that's why we have it. Clayton! Gary Les Satish? View. Okay, can one of the people block the E person? They're saying weird shit. But yeah, so like what are y'all's thoughts on that? Like how are you guys feeling? Because I get a little bit nervous coming on to like the tactical response channel and being like, what the fuck is going on with Trump? Like, we were given a bait and switch. What are we talking about? We're talking about the Pentagon's new rules for the journalists that are allowed to do stories. I don't want to just have like a knee-jerk reaction to it. I cannot find the exact rules that were handed to the journalists themselves that they got rid of, or that they were trying to make them sign, like the new stuff. I found some old rules from like 2023 that I was just like, whatever. But the new ones today that caused everybody to walk out, today or yesterday, I don't know what those rules are. All of the news outlets are reporting that the reason so many of the journalists walked was because they were trying to make journalists go through and have permission from the government before they reported any information to you, including stuff that's not classified. Like, so we have a lot of people here from other countries. I've made a list, guys. I've made a list. Humans crave attention. Okay. But yeah, like, what are you guys thinking about that? Like, what do you look for? What is up tonight? Audio went out. Yep. Shit, guys, I'm trying. Did that help? Okay. I was like, I didn't hit any buttons. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, like that, that's been my focus today. And then something else that Andrew and I are going to come on here and talk about it for a live stream. But do you guys think that people should be speaking out against political things that they see online, even if it could put a target on their back? The Smith-Mundt Act. Okay, I'm looking it up right now. Sorry, I'm running on like an hour and a half of sleep. The Smith, M-U-N-D-T. I know, I was thinking the same thing, Rocco. Like, that there are a ton of trolls on here, but whatever. Like, I don't care. The Smith-Mundt Act, officially known as the U.S. Information and Educational Exchange Act of 1948, was a Cold War era law that created the U.S. Agency for Global Media, which oversees international broadcasting like Voice of America. Its original purpose was to share information about the United States and its policies with foreign audiences. Yeah, tons of. Whew. Is it because of all the political talk I've been doing that we've gotten some attention from the trolls out there? Dude, we don't like it here either right now. Like, everything is fucked up here too. We get it. We see it. And that's why, like, whenever sorry, these comments are throwing me for a loop, but whenever I talk about things like I've been talking about, how, hey guys, I believe that the Israeli government is responsible for some of the very bad things going on, that I'm speaking directly about the Israeli government and not Jewish people. Like, we got an email that was just like almost trying to be like, yeah, go H-Man, and no, that's not what we're doing here. We're calling out the individual people who are actually evil, and that is the members of the Israeli government, specifically Benjamin Netanyahu. But do you think that calling them out, it definitely puts a target on people's back? If you are following anything going on with politics right now, like speaking out against Israel, even when it's speaking out against genocide, is still putting targets on people's back. Do you guys think that being quiet is American? We got to get some more moderators on here. Like, because one of the things that I was discussing when I've had quite a few people tell me that I shouldn't speak out about this stuff. One of the things that I was talking about was like, if we don't speak out about it, then they don't even have to take away your First Amendment right. Like, they don't even have to infringe on it if we choose to remain silent. Like, if we choose to do that, then, like, how the fuck are you gonna call yourself an American? Like, it is our duty to call out evil. Like, we have to call out bad things when we see them, even if they're people that are supposed to be on our side. Like, even if it's supposed to be people that we initially thought were good people. This comment section looks like a live stream comment section from 2018. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, good Lord, there's a bunch of people on here that I don't know. Like, and that's the thing. I don't want to be in an echo chamber, Rocco. Like, being quiet is, he said, being quiet is not American. I may not agree with you, and sometimes I don't, but speak up. Like that's the thing. We need differences of opinions. Me and my husband were having a discussion over a decision that we want that we're going to move forward with regarding our daughter. I feel that we should go one way. He feels as if we should go another. And I was just like, let's try to convince the other person. And then at least then we've come to some sort of mutual understanding and agreement and can see where the other person's coming from and meet in the middle more. Like, the people on either end of the spectrum are not right. It's somewhere in the middle. The truth always lies somewhere in the middle. So, okay, Grant, I love that you brought that up. He said, I'm trying real hard to not just delete all these goofy ass comments, First Amendment and all, but damn, like, other than it being distracting, like, I really don't care. It's not hurting my feelings any. But the thing about the First Amendment is that you still get to set boundaries in private spaces. You still get to set boundaries for your space. Like, if you cannot have repercussions from the government for the First Amendment. Like, it doesn't say that you are free from all consequences. It's you are free from political consequences by speaking out. You are free from your government targeting you, like they have consistently been doing. We got people in the United States now getting arrested for social media posts. Like, yeah, it just, yeah, makes me crazy. You cannot have the government stepping in to say, no, you're not allowed to say that. And I watched a video, and AI is getting out of hand, but I really don't think this one was AI. It was a video of Donald Trump saying that it was in regards to flag burning, Israeli flag and the United States flag. It was regarding flag burning, and he was talking about taking that away because it would incite violence. He said, I know the First Amendment is important, but nothing before the but matters. There, you don't get to say, like, I know this is important, but let me justify why I'm still going to take it from you. Like, that's what he meant when he said that. If somebody says but, they're about to try to justify why they're going to do something that completely goes against the first half of their statement. Somebody asked me if I was a conservative or a liberal. I am neither. I am a constitutionalist and believe that the United States of America was founded on individual freedoms and that the government should stay the fuck out of my business. Like that. That's how I feel. I do not think that social issues should be up for government debate. The government doesn't belong in my bedroom or my body. That is a conversation to be had between patients and doctors and individuals in their bedrooms. Like, consenting adults is my only rule. Like, consenting adults, you gotta have that. But still, being a two-party system, still having to choose, I'm either a conservative or I'm a liberal. Like, that's part of what's gotten us into this mess. It is two roads to the same slaughterhouse. Why would you burn your country's flag, though? I don't know, but you should be able to. Right now, I can tell you that I know people who want to burn it as a sign of saying fuck the government. Oh. Hey guys, I got a warning. Your stream has violated multiple terms of service. Please end your stream now or you will be banned. We will only warn you once from YouTube. So I'm signing off so we don't lose the channel. We will try again next week. I don't know how to... I'm taking a screenshot so that I can show Joey. Okay. Heading out, guys, so that we. That's fake. Okay, never mind. I was like, what the fuck? I don't. I'm telling you guys, AI is getting so real, and we have had so many legitimate strikes from YouTube that I'm like, that's why I took a picture so I could send it to Joey and be like, I don't know if this is real or not, but no, if YouTube wanted to do that, they would definitely be shut down right away. Oh, thanks, Mark. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I can't, it's because I'm holding the phone. The or vertically. Liverpool. I don't know what a lot of this stuff is. Yeah, Donald said he understood my panic on that. But no, getting back to like topics that really matter outside of internet trolls, like, how do you guys feel about it? I believe that we are on the precipice of really bad things happening if they blatantly do things like take away our rights in front of us. I do not believe that we are going to be long for a free country if we do not start pushing back. And I think that pushback needs to come in the form of peaceful protest, but overwhelming amount of people showing up to do those things. Whew. Yeah, the United States of America, like, none of us love our government right now. Like, yeah. I think this is the first time in my life, like, it's making me question, like, the government and the United States have become so intertwined. Like, I have to tell people, like, when I say I'm proud to be an American, it's because I believe that America was founded on individual freedoms, and that is of the utmost importance. That is what I'm proud of. I am not proud of what our government has done since about 1913. It goes a little further, but specifically 1913. That is when I believe we started collapsing as a free country. That's when the IRS and all them federals come in. Somebody asked, what's my solution? Either a divorce or a reset. I believe Nepal showed us that you can take back your country if you so choose. And they did it in a very morally correct way. They did not go after anybody that was innocent. They went and had the rioters and looters that did act out of the character of what they wanted their revolution to be about. They made those people return the things that they had stolen. I believe it starts on a local level. You have to start holding each other accountable, your local government accountable. Like, I still remember during COVID, the government that we had here in office at the time, dude tried acting like he was king. He was like, I will not allow people to do these things. Like, you will do as I say. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but no, a mandate isn't a law. And people showed their true colors during COVID, and we didn't hold them accountable on a local level. We didn't hold them accountable on a state level, and we damn sure didn't hold them accountable on a federal level. And they saw what they could, they being the United States government and all of the people involved in it, saw what they could get away with if they could scare the American people. So they're trying to keep us scared so that they can take away our freedoms and do whatever they want. the like we're there are the haves and the have-nots. It is them versus us, like the elites versus regular people, good versus evil. That's where we're at with this. Why is there so much hateful speech towards Christians in America? Is it because of Trump? The Christians I met in America were so nice and welcoming. I think that a lot of the hate speech that is aimed at Christianity is bought and paid for. I do not, like, in my everyday life, going out and about around town and in my grocery store, going to cities, other states, like, I don't meet people like that in real life. And I'm not saying that they don't exist. I know assholes exist. Hey, so I know assholes exist, but I think a huge portion of what we are seeing, especially on social media, is bought and paid for by people that want there to be a divide. They want it to be us against us so that they don't have to worry about it being us against them. And again, they being the United States government. And then I think that another part of it is, and this is not just on Christianity, this is across all religions. A lot of people, and I do meet people like this in my everyday life, so it's way more common for me to see this than it is for me to see people like actively just like hating Christianity for the sake of hating Christianity. A lot of people try to twist the words of God and twist the words of the Bible to make it match what they want from you. And if you ever shove religion at me and say that it is justification for being morally bad, I'm gonna tip my hat and be like, have a good night. Like, I'm not, that is not what I would like to be a part of. I have met Christians that are true Christians, and that is not something that they do. People who truly believe in what they are selling don't twist words to make it match. They just live good lives. So I'm going through like message held for review. Not all local or federal authorities are bad. Most are good and do more than people see or think about. Completely agree with you. Most of them are good people. The problem is that you can't just be good. You have to be actively good. And you can look at other instances in history where when orders come down that are unlawful or unconstitutional or just flat out morally wrong, I was just doing my job is the most common excuse used by those good people. And I'm not saying it makes them bad, I'm saying it makes them human. Like the bystander effect, like where if you see other people just standing around doing nothing, so you think it's cool to just stand around and do nothing. If you look at the Stanford prison experiment, if you put like one group in a position of power and other people in a subservient position to where they are serving that group, they are in like under the control of said group, we've shown what happens. Like, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And we have gotten rid of our checks and balances system through the guise of keeping America safer. And I'm just not buying it anymore. Christianity is the only faith that can be persecuted because it's the only true faith. What are we talking about then? True Christians know such, like, guys, Rising Phoenix, exactly. under whatever belief system you hold, you are still a human being that has value. There are very few unforgivable things. Hurting children is one of them, so fuck off if you're into that sort of shit. But there are very few things that devalue you as a human to the point you're beyond redemption. And I'm not even speaking religiously here. I'm talking about to your fellow man. We need to love each other more. We need to have more conversation, talk to people, to humanize people that we vehemently disagree with. Like, when I was at the Combat Art Summit at Taprack Ridge, one of the things that was said to me was, I disagreed with your dad at least about 80% of things. But it was the 20% that mattered because he was a man of principle. He was a good man. We just got to find the 20% that we all agree on and go from there. Trump is firing the good ones. Hope Newhouse said an order came down in Chicago this week that the PD would not help ICE agents when they were being attacked by the mob. Well, when the ICE agents attacked the Chicago PD, and granted, I only caught a snippet of that story, I'm like, they're going tit for tat. And somebody has to maintain the moral high ground. We should maintain the moral high ground with each other. Like, somebody has to maintain that. I believe that it should be with each other. Tolerance is why we are in this position. No, it's not. If you think that what's been going on the last 5, 10, 15 years has been tolerance, like that, you're wrong. That's not what's been happening. There has been a cultural divide bought and paid for by the elites to put people at such opposite ends of the spectrum that we've been told, like, not having any boundaries and being willing to just bend over and take it is tolerance. And that's not what tolerance is. Tolerance is saying, you do you, boo, and I'll keep doing me. That's what tolerance is. Mark said, Kayla, remember when I said the pediatrician didn't like when I asked for the vaccine data sheet? Turns out they didn't record any of the vaccines they gave my boys. Ooh. Yeah. Bo, Memphis is a perfect example. Pushed the gray cops out, pulled in people that don't deserve the badge and the gun. So they took away the warriors of our police departments, and it's happening in the military. It started happening, like, I don't even know how long ago now. But I have seen it happen across the span of my adult lifetime. Your true warriors, and like, this is where I start confusing people because I'm going to sound way more conservative than I did earlier. Your true warriors, your men that were designed for battlefield, your men that were designed to protect and to provide, not only are they being poisoned with soy added to nearly every like food product that doesn't have a single, like if it's not a single ingredient food, they're adding soy in there. It's all over the school lunches. So they're hitting boys when they're in their prepubescent stages. But the boys who hold on to enough testosterone to make it through to be true men are fired, ridiculed, and ostracized and told that they're not safe to be police officers. They're not safe to be soldiers. They're not safe to be those people. Like the ones that make it through, that can hold on to enough of their manhood through everything the elite is doing, because they don't want men that can fight back. They don't want anybody that can fight back, but they're way more scared of men. They do not want men that can fight back. That is why they have actively been attacking masculinity. That's why they've actively been feminizing boys. Like that, it is all connected. When did ICE attack the Chicago PD? Where did that come from? I was watching a video where it was the one of the city officials in Chicago saying that the members of law enforcement were attacked by ICE. It was a TikTok video that was a news conference that was being live broadcasted, so I couldn't save it. But that's where I got that information. Again, I was like, I just saw a snippet of the story. There could be more to it. I have no idea. But I'm saying, like, when you only take the snippets, when you only take the headlines, it's super easy to get into a tit for tat battle when somebody needs to maintain the moral high ground. So let me get this straight. You have a certain amount of testosterone to be a real man. Yes. Like, women should also have testosterone. Just one moment, please. Hello? Hey, is everything okay? I'm on the live stream. Love ya. Sorry, we've had a bunch of family emergency stuff going on this week. Everybody's okay, but I was just checking to to make sure that that was nothing like that. So yes, you have to have a certain amount of testosterone to be a man. You also have to have an XY chromosome to be a man. You can transition, but then you are a transgendered man. Like, and I'm fine with that. I don't care. You do you, boo. Do what makes you happy. But don't tell me I have to give up my womanhood or agree that you are a woman as well, or that you are a man as well. Like, you don't get to make me change my belief system to make you feel better emotionally. Like, that, no, you will always have XX or XY chromosomes. I don't care what they are. Like, it doesn't matter to me if you're XX or XY. Testosterone is a requirement in both men and women. But men need significantly more. Grant's doing awesome. I see a bunch of, like, message held for reviews. Like, he's kicking ass and taking names. But no, that's, the thing is, if you have opinions on this stuff, they're, like, probably not too crazy far off from mine. Like, they're not, they might be, but I'm, like, I feel like I have a very moderate take on it. Like, I don't care what you do to your genitals, but you are not going to change what your, like, biology is by doing that. That doesn't feel like a hot take. But when going back to earlier, when I said that somebody had asked about Christianity and why it was being like so persecuted right now, it is bought and paid for. Like, it is bought and paid for. All of the stuff that we are arguing about right now, the extremists on both sides of those arguments are paid off by the same government. Like, the liberals and the conservatives and the Republicans and the Democrats, like, it's just two separate hallways into the same room. Like, they're all in the same building doing the same stuff. You can look up 6 of our federal congressional members have not received donations from AIPAC. So if they're all taking money from the same people, they all have like the same benefactors and goals. So oh no, she's a liberal that's far right. Welcome to the club, girl. Like, I'm telling you, I've been joking, like, for years now. I'm just like, when I hang out with my liberal friends, they're like, damn, you are just straight up like right wing. And when I hang out with my conservative friends, there's like, go back to Portland, like, and I, I'm like, I feel like I'm normal. Well, not normal, but I feel like I'm moderate. That my views are more center than anything, and again, based on individual liberty. Like, I don't want people telling me what to do. Sometimes, no. No, like, we have a conscience because we get to make decisions on what feels good or feels bad to us. And, like, I know that people do wrong, like, we get it wrong a lot. Like, I've gotten it wrong today. Like, we do get it wrong, but that's where the guilt comes in, and the shame and the embarrassment, all this stuff that tells us, hey, you fucked up. You should fix that. We have to, like, own our shit when we fuck up, guys. That's part of it. And I like, just, I don't know, live and let live, and like admit when you're wrong. Okay, Grant. Yeah, he said, okay, I gotta ask. It seems like there are a lot of new people here who aren't trolls. What brought y'all here? Just wondering if people are aware of what we usually talk about, what we do, that sort of thing. Danny, Tyler Willis said, hard not to get radicalized, isn't it? You have no idea. You have no idea. I was texting a friend and I was just like, I'm so glad that like Alex is on board with the dots I'm connecting, because otherwise I would feel crazy. And he was like, you're my lifeboat. You're my lifeboat. Abnormal is still kind of normal. Do you believe in the Second Amendment? I believe that the Second Amendment is the most important amendment that we have in the United States Constitution. And when, like earlier, somebody asked, what should we do to fix it? We should revert back to the rules and regulations of 1776, except like all people are created equally, not just white dudes. And like, don't get mad at me, guys. Don't come at me for that. That was real. I didn't get the right to vote, or my people, the XX chromosomes, did not get the right to vote, like until the last like 100 years or so. Like, so I would like to go back to the rules. Let's go back to circa day 17. We'll go July 5th, 1776. Let's go back to those rules, but also include like black people, brown people, and women to have access to those rights without having to add the extra amendments to that. That's what I want to do to fix it. The older generations are terrible at accepting when they are wrong. Dude, the older generations won't hand things the fuck over. If you look back in history, every few years, a new generation is supposed to take over, because we know what's good for our own generation. Like, millennials relate to millennials, Gen Xers to Gen Xers, boomers to boomers, like Zers to Zers. We still have baby boomers running this fucking country. I am the mom of a Gen Alpha. So you've got baby boomers, Gen Xers, millennials, Gen Zers, and Gen Alphas. Like, we are 5 generations apart here. And the oldest generation, like, this is going to sound awful, but they just won't die. And I don't want the grandmas and grandpas to die, but like your political career should. They should. Kayla doesn't struggle with being radicalized. She gets radicalized just fine. Like, what have I said that's radical, though? That's what I want to know. Like, tell me how I'm radical. SJ777, absolutely 100%. We should have grenade launchers in store shelves. Um, does life begin at conception? Yes, life does begin at conception. Pregnancies are also parasites. The woman is housing a parasite. It is living off of her solely. So I believe I know that the question that you're getting at there is abortion. I believe that it should be very uncommon, very very uncommon, but it should be safe and accessible when necessary. I actually had a miscarriage in 2012, and the procedure that saved my life would not be legal on me today because they the baby the baby, it was like at that time, I believe it was a baby. I called it my baby. I talked to it in my belly. Like I grieved that. That actually was one of the first things that started me gaining a lot of weight, was the deep depression that I went into from losing that baby. But had I not had access to medical services that ended that pregnancy, technically, because we could not see on the ultrasound whether or not there was a heartbeat. So legally speaking, my doctor ended my pregnancy for me because I was bleeding internally. And that procedure would not be legal for me today. So I think the government needs to stay the fuck out of it, and they need to leave it up to the patient and their doctor. Because check it out, if doctors just go killing a bunch of healthy babies and just be offering these services to anybody that wants them, they should lose their medical license. Discretion should be used. Like, discretion should be used. The Second Amendment is the right of the people to keep and bear arms. Hand grenades from vending machines, kind of 2A. In 1776, only landowners could vote. Yeah, I know. And like, black people and women weren't really allowed to own land. Like black, brown, like, I'm fine with landowners being the ones that get to vote because they're the ones that actually have skin in the game. We need to abolish the IRS. We had roads before them. Like, roads existed. Check it out. The military existed before the IRS. Like, all of this bullshit we've been fed, the country would absolutely fall apart if we didn't have the tax rates that we do. Bullshit. They're just off spending your money more poorly than you do. The NFA is going to disappear soon. It's well useless. So, or pretty well useless. Here's my fear. The NFA tax stamps are still required. You just don't have to pay the tax stamp. Like, you still have to do the paperwork or whatever. Like, you still have to do the Form 4 on it. So they're still required to be registered. I said it wrong. They're still required to be registered. The tax stamps aren't required, but they're still required to be registered. The only reason that they were allowed to be registered was because of the tax stamps. Otherwise, it infringed on the Second Amendment. My fear is that they're going to bring back the tax stamp and they're going to match it to inflation, because the tax stamp has been the same since its like inception, $200, and I'm terrified, absolutely terrified, that they are going to bring it back and make it match and be like, we're not infringing because you can still buy it. Like, no. Stop that shit. The NFA should have already disappeared. The NFA, the ATF, the DEA, like, and I have people that I love and care about that work for those places, but they're like, they know that I will stab them in the fucking throat if they ever try to use that I was just doing my job as a justification. I expect them to absolutely say, no, the fuck, I'm not gonna do that. Like, here, eat my boot. Because those are just the kind of people that they are. But none of those should have ever existed. They were only there to infringe. And I believe that as people, I don't think that it should just be Americans. I believe that it should be worldwide. But especially as an American, like, I was born here being told my entire life that those rights belonged to me, that they were God-given, not man-given, and nobody could take them from me. Yet here we are. And it pisses me off. It makes me mad. And I don't like it. I do not believe that the government we have is even remotely similar to the one that we started this country with. And I don't want to just say, like, I want things to go back to the good old days, because they weren't the good old days for everybody. Like I said, if you have a little bit darker skin, or if you have that XX chromosome, the 1750s and the 1800s, they weren't super great for us. So I don't want to go back to the good old days. I want to take what was good about the good old days and mix it with what's good from today. That's what I want to do. Now, William Phelps, abortion should not be birth control. Absolutely not. It shouldn't be birth control. If you guys would like to hop on like a Patreon or whatever and have discussions about that stuff, I don't mind putting my beliefs out there, but I own this business with my sister, and I don't want my beliefs to affect her pocketbook. And these are personal opinions, not stuff that I'm like, this is definitely right and this is definitely wrong. It's personal opinions. I wouldn't mind hopping on and talking about a lot of this stuff, letting you guys know where I stand politically. So the same should go for the COVID shot. Yes. So check it out. I've been pro-choice on both sides. Like, I kept the same energy. It always was crazy to me that, like, people understand the concept. Like, we're going to say, for the sake of what it was, like the left versus right argument here, the people who were loud on the left always understood that, like, in regards to a penis, consent is a yes with the option of a safe no. But when it comes to a needle, the loud people forgot that on the left. And I'm like, if the people on the right can understand, like, my body, my choice for the shot, and not wanting the government involved in that at all, then how do they not see the same, like, it's not women out here going like, hey, let me use it for birth control. Again, those people that say that, though, like, that's what they're doing it for, they're paid actors. Like, and I'm not saying that people don't do that, but it's not as many as they're making it out to be. It is to drive you to the radicalization on either end, and to keep people from being able to have a, like, normal, level-headed conversation that, like, abortion is bad, but sometimes it's necessary. And that there is no one, like, black and white answer to it. Every single time it comes up, it's a gray area that, like, you need more information on to know if that's what's right or wrong. Yes, we can agree. Abolish the IRS. What happened? Sorry, guys.
I was playing a game and I was like throwing it to Gatlin, like when he was playing, like, guess who was on the lap.
Is anybody, like, bleeding?
No. No, it's just a weird.
Come here. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna show you what's going on. We got my little dude here. They were playing around, and he got thrown and smacked his face with Everly. Okay, how about we go turn a movie on, and I will be done in about 10 minutes. Okay, guys? I love you. Are you okay? Okay. Sorry, guys. I've got kids here tonight. People think these times are awful, but we Christians are happy because our Lord and Savior is coming back. Donald Rocco, not trying to start a fight, but give some credit to people having a lot of experience that are making decisions and know that they also have your best interest in mind. We know their time is near. So I'm not, like, this was something that I come across the other day, and it it made sense to me. And it was talking about the value of women and how it is very uncommon in the animal world for females to live longer than they can reproduce. But in humans, women do. When we are finished with our childbearing years, we go through menopause. And if you look at things from a scientific aspect, like if women don't die out after their childbearing years, that means they still provide value to society. And if that value isn't bearing children, what is it? Well, it's knowledge and experience. So I would love for the people with all of that knowledge and experience that think that they have our best interest at heart, to step aside, but still be available to communicate with and to do a passing of the torch, like for it to be a merging, a blending of the two, but like we're not properly matched as far as statistics go on. Like almost all of Congress is not in the millennial generation, and that's the generation where we are of the age, we're hitting our 30s and 40s. This is the generation that we're supposed to come in and start trying to do things like, and Gen X never really got the opportunity to do that. If you look like Trump, Biden, like they're all still baby boomers. Like we haven't had a Gen X president. So that's what I meant by that. I absolutely believe that like knowledge and wisdom can only be like, or are better with experience. And I don't think that you should be like, shut the fuck up to people just because they don't belong to your generation. But don't tell me you know better than me because of that. Pay to play. It is a pay to play system. Like we don't have a justice system. We have a legal system that it is pay to play. Somebody said, because fentanyl is good. Fentanyl is a way to keep people preoccupied with being enslaved. Guys, they took off the chains and replaced it with debt. Like, that slavery went from a group of people being physically bound to a people being financially bound. And they're doing it to the whole country. It's not any one race. They have enslaved our entire country with debt. SCOTUS already said you can't tax a right with poll taxes. Yeah, they've made decisions though that like backtrack on some of that, on some of that left and right stuff as well. It makes me really nervous. It makes me nervous. They can't. They said that everybody was supposed to have access to a carry permit too. There are still states where it's not happening. So, and there has been some flip-flopping. So if it bothers you so much, then leave. No, I absolutely will not fucking leave. What I will do is stay and do everything in my power to turn it into the world that I want. Like, as cheesy as it sounds, be the fucking change you wish to see. I'm not going anywhere. Like, no. Trump don't drink alcohol. He only drinks tea and coffee. Okay. Did you agree with the enforcement of the COVID vaccine shots? No. Consent is a yes with the option of a safe no. And there have been so many people had horrible reactions to that. If you wanted it and wanted to weigh the risk and rewards, and it was riskier for you to get COVID than it was the vaccine, absolutely go for it. Get it if you want to. But that should never be forced on anybody. I think the biggest step in the right direction would be term limits and single issue bill requirement laws for Congress. I don't think term limits would do a whole lot. It's just going to change hands of who the lobbyists own. That's the thing. It's only a change of faces. It's not really a change of beliefs, because the people who are in there they're puppets. They are being bought and paid for by the lobbyists and the corporations and the people that give them the money to get elected. But the single issue bill requirement, absolutely. The one big beautiful bill, like, no, it tells you exactly what it gets rid of. How would you know it wasn't great in the 1800s? You know what? There's no way that I truly know, because we know, like, winners write the history books. But I can tell you it wasn't women that won, because we didn't write a whole lot of history books. So Tim, he said Idiocracy is a true story. Fun fact, Crocs were designed for the movie Idiocracy because they thought that there was no way that anybody would ever wear that shoe, like that it was that outrageous that it wouldn't be worn. And like, yeah, we are living a mix of Idiocracy and 1984. Like, that's where we are at right now in the United States of America. So what is Tactical Response Crew? What do we do as a business? We teach good people how to kill bad people. We are a firearms training company. My dad established the company back in 1996. And spent his entire life dedicated to receiving training and being able to put all of that into a package that we can deliver to individuals who want to defend their families. And I've spent my entire life doing the same. My focus is on pistols, medical, and force on force. Of course, mindset over everything. We do have some of our guys that do more rifle stuff. That's just like, I'm confident in my other stuff, and I feel comfortable teaching the curriculum because the curriculum's there. But dudes just want dudes to teach them with the rifle stuff, and I'm like, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I get it. But that is what we do. We teach good people to save bad people, or we teach good people to save other good people by killing bad people. Rub some dirt. I know, poor guy. I'm running through here, guys. Been fantastic. We had a chance with Kamala to get a Gen Xer in there. Okay, but I want a Gen Xer that could actually formulate proper thought in sentences. And the thing about Kamala is, like, she couldn't do that. She did not have critical thinking skills. The solution to the generation gap is communication and common goals. Yep. Was Obama Gen X? I thought that he was still like at the very tail end of the baby boomers. So some people don't prioritize. Same here. The DOJ has been a major letdown. We already have term limits. You don't want them in, you vote them out. My political affiliation, I am a constitutionalist. I believe in the Constitution of the United States of America and cannot in good conscience associate myself with either the left or the right, because I think that they are both two roads to the same slaughterhouse. So check it out, dad jokes. I would be fine with paying a flat tax, like abolish the IRS, abolish the ATF, like get rid of all that. I would be fine with paying a flat tax, and for every political candidate to, once they reach a certain level on their own, to only have access to a certain amount of funding from the people. Like, I'm fine with that. And it be illegal, a treasonous offense, to accept money from lobbyists to vote that way instead of the way that your constituents want. Like, it should be illegal to take money to buy votes, because that's what they are doing. My dad was an amazing guy. Josh L said, sure wish I could have met your dad. He seemed like an amazing man. He was an absolutely incredible man, and his legacy is getting carried on through us. Talking to some friends of mine the other day, and like, even outside of tactical response, my dad's legacy was one of generosity and kindness. And like, people who don't know him, they kind of giggle when I say kindness. Kindness requires sacrifice. Like, you're thinking about nice. Nice isn't kind. Kindness requires sacrifice, and it doesn't mean that it's done with a smile on their face. It means that they are taking care of something that you need taken care of and sacrificing themselves to do so without expecting anything back. So my dad had he lived a life of generosity and kindness, and that is what I strive to do as well. So no, I have all the freedoms. Sorry, I'm not catching up on I'm trying to catch up on these right before I have to go, guys. My politics are to give all my money to Israel. Yeah, Obama was the tail end of the boomers. That's what I thought. I did not think that he was Gen X yet. Shout out to your pops. He raised a queen. Thank you, Rising Phoenix. Yes. And that's the other thing. Like, I believe that Congress people should get paid the average, like the median salary for their district. That's what they should get paid. Because I believe a high tide raises all ships, I think is how it's so. Like, if they need to live in the communities that they run in, and that they should just be paid the average wage. I am James Yeager's daughter. No, he had a filter. That's the thing. My dad had a filter. That's what got through it. That's what made it through the filter. A rising tide raises all boats. Yeah. Okay, guys. I'm going to go in here and make sure that these children are still alive and kicking. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks to the trolls. You bumped us up in the algorithm. You guys rock. A special thank you to Grant Tilley for like keeping them from being such a distraction to me the entire time. And like Cat says, this is the way. This is the way. This is the way. This is the way. Okay.